President Hassan Sheikh Mohamud is representing Somalia at the annual meetings of the African Development Bank in Nairobi this week. He has been visiting the Kenyan capital frequently and was welcomed enthusiastically by his hosts. The AFDB meetings gave the Somali leader a chance to lay out his priorities. He pointed to progress in debt relief, the lifting of the United Nations arms embargo, and his government's establishment of the Ministry of Environment and Climate Change. Some commentators described his comments as passionate.
So focusing on our strategic developing and growing our strategic resources areas like agriculture, blue economy, and particularly the livestock that we excluded from the agriculture is also moving forward. The export of Somalia is increasing, still at the infancy level, but increasing by the year. That all are indications that our institutions and state building is improving very fast.
Somalia's finance minister, Bihi Ege, also had a prominent role in his country's delegation. He signed a deal with the Climate Disaster Risk Financing Project that is valued at over $18 million. When it was his turn to address the conference, he provided dramatic statistics on financial challenges his country and countrymen face.
In Somalia, we are among the most fragile nations in the world. We are challenged by cyclical and recurrent droughts and floods, which have made our people among the most food insecure globally. Just to illustrate this point, the price of our food basket increased by 49% and fuel prices by 92% around this time last year compared to the previous year.
And Ege called for more international support in dealing with the effects of climate change and financial shocks from the wars in Ukraine and Gaza.
I think there is an international obligation to support the countries who are faced with these realities, to provide flexible and favorable financing for us to be able to address those shocks. This could be in the form of grants, because we cannot access concessional financing, or we cannot carry debts because of our fiscal situation. And I think this speaks to many other African experiences. So flexible financing, timely and shock responsive assistance is very critical for these countries to mitigate the global shocks.
We have what it takes to succeed.
Kenya's president committed about $100 million in investment in the AFDB. He framed it as a reaction to unfair loan practices by the big multilateral financial institutions.
We face the rigid barrier of global financial architecture that is fundamentally misaligned with our aspirations. We routinely borrow from international markets at rates far above those paid by the rest of the world, often up to 8 or 10 times more. These rates are said to factor in something arbitrary called risk profile that is notably not applied when considering mineral extraction, even in areas of active conflict.
In February, Kenya borrowed $1.5 billion in the form of a Eurobond. Ruto's government used most of that money to address what it owes from a $2 billion Eurobond loan taken in 2014. ADN TV will continue to report on developments from the African Development Bank meetings in Nairobi.